Signs that you are overexposing yourself. Be more silent. Have you ever stopped to think about the impact of your words, your actions, and even what you share about yourself? You might not realize it now, but in a world where everything is so exposed, the ability to keep certain things to yourself is a powerful skill. It might seem like a small detail, but the truth is, discretion can be the shield that protects your life, your dreams, and your peace of mind. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone get into trouble for saying too much or exposing themselves at the wrong moment? How many opportunities have been lost because of impulsive acts? This isn't about being cold or distant. It's about knowing what, when, and to whom you reveal things. Discretion isn't about hiding who you are. It's about protecting what's important to you. Now, reflect with me. Are you exposing yourself too much? It's easy to fall into that trap. We live in times where everything seems to demand a quick response, an immediate comment, a post to show we're active. But does that truly benefit us? Imagine your life as a house. Would you leave the doors and windows wide open for anyone to walk in and meddle with whatever they please? Of course not. So why do that with your feelings, your ideas, or your plans? Oversharing is like leaving that house vulnerable, open to criticism, judgment, and even sabotage. The good news is that this can change. Discretion is something you can learn, cultivate, and apply to your life starting now. It's a matter of posture, strategy, and self-care. It's not about shutting yourself off from the world, but about wisely choosing what's worth sharing. In this video, I'll show you 7 signs that you might be exposing yourself more than necessary. Together, we'll understand how to be more mindful about what we reveal, protect our achievements, and build a life with greater peace and security. Because in the end, discretion isn't a barrier. It's a path to freedom. So are you ready to take that step? Let's go. Have you ever felt that sharing a problem only made it worse, as if instead of lightening the load, it created a new burden? That's because venting in the wrong place or to the wrong people can often be more dangerous than it seems. Think about it. Every time you open your heart and talk about your struggles, you're handing over a piece of your puzzle to someone. And not everyone on the other side understands the value of that piece. Some may listen and offer words of support, but in other cases, what do you get in return? Judgment, gossip, manipulation. The truth is, the world isn't always kind to those who expose their vulnerabilities. This doesn't mean you should isolate yourself or keep everything bottled up, but it's essential to choose wisely who you share your challenges with and how you share them. Because the moment you reveal too much, you lose control over your narrative. Think of your problems as a key that opens doors to your most vulnerable moments. Now imagine handing it to just anyone who crosses your path. Would everyone handle it with care? Or would some lock you in, using that key against you? But don't worry, this isn't about mistrusting everyone. It's about understanding that you don't need to tell everything to everyone. Not everyone who listens to your problems has the tools or the intention to help. Sometimes, sharing only adds noise, confusion, and leaves you feeling even more exposed. So, when you feel the urge to vent, to talk about what's bothering you, ask yourself, why am I saying this? Can this person really help me? Or am I just trying to unload something that only I can resolve? By learning to hold back your words and approach your problems more strategically, you become stronger. You stop being seen as someone vulnerable and start being admired for your resilience. Most importantly, you protect what is most precious, your peace. Remember, difficulties are like storms. They pass. But what you reveal during the chaos can leave lasting marks. Be the one who remains balanced, who solves issues with wisdom, and who knows exactly when and with whom to open their heart. Are you ready to take this step and protect your energy? Let's learn together how to turn your struggles into strength, without ever handing them over on a silver platter to the world. And here is where we begin to realize something important. It's not just what we say directly about ourselves that can expose us. Sometimes it's in the small details, in careless gestures, or even in how we react to situations, that others start piecing together the puzzle of our lives. You might think, oh, but I didn't say anything significant. Yet, what seems trivial to you could be exactly what someone needed to hear to understand or spread, something you'd rather keep private. That's why, in the next section, we'll delve deeper into this idea. It's time to talk about the information you leak without even realizing it and the impact it can have on your life. Have you ever been in a situation where something personal, something meant to be a secret, ended up reaching the ears of others? You might have thought, but how did they find out? The answer, more often than not, is simple. Unintentionally, you let it slip. It could be a casual comment, an expressive look, or even the tone of your voice when speaking about something sensitive. These small clues can be enough for someone to piece together a story you never intended to share. The problem is that once the information is out there, you lose control over it. It takes on a life of its own and doesn't always come back to you in the same way it left. Remember, not everyone listening is just hearing. Some are observing, analyzing, and sometimes even waiting for the chance to use what they've discovered against you. The point here isn't to create paranoia, but to develop awareness. Think about how you act in your daily life. When sharing a plan, have you perhaps left too many details hanging in the air? In a moment of distraction, did you accidentally allow someone to pick up on more than they should? Life is full of examples of this. People who, through a small oversight, saw their projects fall apart. Their secrets turn into gossip, and their vulnerabilities become targets of judgment. But you don't have to be one of them. The solution? Pay attention to your actions, your words, and even your expressions. Understand that even when you think no one is paying attention, there's always someone observing. Here's a practical tip. Before sharing something, ask yourself, is this information essential? Is there any risk in revealing it? If the answer is yes, or if you're unsure, hold back. Silence is often the greatest ally for those who wish to protect their peace and achievements. In the end, your privacy is like a vault, and every word you let slip carelessly is like leaving that vault's door ajar. So how about starting now to close it with greater care? Let's work together to understand how to safeguard what matters most and prevent precious information from leaking unnecessarily. After all, the more control you have over what you reveal, the more power you'll have over your own life. Now that you understand the importance of protecting your information, imagine how this applies to the people you attract into your life. Just as the details you share can be misinterpreted, the way you present yourself to the world can determine who approaches you and with what intentions. Here's the point. Some people enter our lives not to add to them, but to take away, to exploit what they perceive as a weakness. So how can you avoid this kind of situation? Let's uncover it together in this next topic. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract only toxic relationships or problematic friendships? Perhaps you've even felt this way yourself. That constant sense of giving chances to those who, in the end, only disappoint or hurt you. Here's a truth that can change how you view these situations. What you attract into your life is often a reflection of what you project to the world. When you see yourself as a victim, when you carry that posture of someone who always needs help, it's almost inevitable that opportunists will notice. They sneak in, full of good intentions, or so it seems, but deep down, they're just waiting for a chance to take something from you, whether it's your energy, your resources, or even your peace. And here's the greatest danger. Sometimes these people don't seem harmful at first. They know how to spot vulnerabilities, how to gain your trust. But before you know it, you realize something isn't right. So how do you change this? The answer lies within you. It's time to take control. to let go of the victim mindset and adopt a firm, confident stance. No matter what you've faced, you are not defined by your difficulties. You're defined by how you choose to respond to them. Remember, negative, manipulative, or toxic people fear those who show strength, who don't easily falter. Developing your self-confidence and attitude is like building a natural barrier against this type of person. Here's a practical tip. Pay attention to what you project in your interactions. Your body language, your tone of voice, your words. Do they convey security and self-reliance, or are they sending a signal of vulnerability? And don't forget, being strong doesn't mean being arrogant. It means setting boundaries, saying no when necessary, and knowing that you're capable of overcoming any challenge without relying on those who don't add value to your life. The wrong people only find space where there are cracks. Today is the day you decide to seal those cracks, because you deserve to be surrounded by those who support, encourage, and genuinely care for you. Are you ready to take this step? Let's work together to transform how you attract and choose the people who are part of your story. Now that we understand how our attitude attracts the right or wrong people, let's take it a step further. When something or someone catches our attention, how we act can be crucial. Have you ever thought about how uncontrolled enthusiasm or haste can be just as harmful as inaction? That's what we'll discuss now. How interest, when poorly managed, can become an obstacle. And more importantly, how to turn impulsiveness into a strength that works in your favor. Who hasn't felt that urge to act quickly when faced with an opportunity or drawn to someone who piqued their interest? It's natural. After all, when something truly matters to us, our first instinct is often to secure it immediately. But here's an essential point to consider. Rushing to show interest can sometimes make you lose exactly what you're after. Think of an archer. They don't release the arrow right away. First, they aim, adjust their stance, and control their breathing. Only then do they let it fly. Life works the same way. If you act without planning, without thinking about the consequences, it's like shooting without aiming, and the result can be disappointing. Showing interest is important, but there's a fine line between being engaged and being predictable. When you lay all your cards on the table, whether in a professional goal or a personal relationship, you lose the mystery and balance, and that can often drive away the very thing you want most. Impulsiveness can be deceptive. It can make you seem desperate, lead you to mistakes, or even allow others to exploit your interest. When someone knows exactly what you want, it becomes easier for them to manipulate your emotions and actions. But here's the good news. You can control this. It's not about hiding what you feel or want, but about acting wisely. Take things one step at a time. Observe before you act. Build carefully and without rushing. The secret lies in balancing enthusiasm with discipline. If this feels challenging, start with something simple. Instead of diving in immediately, ask yourself, is this the right moment? Will this action bring me closer to or further from what I want? Even a brief pause can change everything. Remember, the best achievements come with patience. The more strategic you are, the harder it will be for others to manipulate or destabilize you. And the best part, you'll exude maturity and self-confidence, two qualities that open doors and build genuine connections. So, how about starting now? Take a deep breath, slow down, and move forward with intention, not impulsiveness. Because what's meant for you, with patience and effort, will always be within your reach. Let's work together to turn your interest into a balanced strength and achieve what truly matters. Just as excessive enthusiasm can put you in difficult situations, there's another behavior we often engage in unconsciously that can cause significant harm: the way we share our opinions. Because sometimes it's not what you think that matters, but how and where you choose to express it. Are you ready to learn how diplomacy can become a powerful tool in your daily life? Let's talk about it now. Have you ever found yourself in the middle of an argument and later thought, did I really need to say that? Or perhaps you shared your opinion on something, only to realize that instead of solving a problem, you created a new one. The truth is, our opinions carry immense weight. They can be bridges that connect, but they can also be walls that divide. And in a world where everyone seems eager to voice their thoughts on everything, wisdom lies in knowing when it's better to listen than to speak. Consider this. Does every idea you have need to be shared? Often, the urge to prove we're right or to defend our point of view can lead us into tricky situations, unnecessary arguments, avoidable conflicts, and even missed opportunities, all because of an opinion that may not have needed to be voiced. This doesn't mean you should suppress your beliefs, but there's a difference between having an opinion and insisting on proving it to others. That insistence, particularly on controversial topics or matters beyond your control, can make you come across as rigid, stubborn, or even disrespectful. The solution? Diplomacy. Before sharing your opinion, ask yourself, will this conversation add something positive? Is the person I'm speaking with open to dialogue, or is this likely to lead to conflict? If the answer isn't clear, it might be better to keep your opinion to yourself. Additionally, remember that not everyone around you interprets your words the same way. What feels like a harmless comment to you could be perceived as criticism or even twisted and shared in ways you never intended. So practice strategic silence. Observe more, speak less. Demonstrate maturity and intelligence by choosing your battles wisely and avoiding arguments that lead nowhere. Because at the end of the day, what truly matters isn't how much you say, but the positive impact your words have on the world. Be wise, be cautious. Recognize that true strength lies in knowing that sometimes silence speaks louder than 1,000 words. Are you ready to apply this lesson to your life? Let's move forward with fewer words and more actions that truly make a difference. Now that we understand how the way we express our opinions can shape how we're perceived, let's move on to a point that seems even simpler but often escapes us. How do you respond to basic, everyday questions? After all, even a simple answer like, "I'm fine," can say a lot more than you might think. And depending on how it's said, it can bring about consequences you certainly don't want. Let's dive into this idea now. How many times has someone asked you, "How are you?" or "All good"? It seems like a trivial question, doesn't it? But believe it or not, the way you answer can reveal a lot about you, more than it should. And that's where the danger lies, because answering too enthusiastically might attract envy and unwanted curiosity. On the other hand, showing yourself as discouraged or vulnerable can draw the attention of those who exploit others' weaknesses. The big issue is that in routine situations like these, many people end up exposing themselves without realizing it. Whether by oversharing problems or going overboard with achievements, both attitudes can draw attention you might prefer to avoid. So, how do you find the balance? The answer lies in neutrality. This doesn't mean hiding who you are, but maintaining an attitude of calm and control. Respond with confidence, but without overdoing it. Something like, "I'm doing well, thank you," or "Everything's moving along in its own time." Phrases like these convey security and maturity without leaving room for unnecessary judgments or interpretations. Remember, you don't owe anyone a detailed explanation of your life, neither about what brings you joy nor about what concerns you. Those who genuinely care about you will find other ways to show it beyond a generic question. Moreover, this discreet approach not only protects you, but also keeps the focus where it belongs, on your actions, not your words. Because what truly matters is what you do to achieve your goals, not what you share about them. The next time someone asks how you're doing, try pausing for a moment. Choose your words carefully. Show that you're in control, that your life is balanced, even if inside you're experiencing a roller coaster of emotions. Because in the end, Those who control what they reveal also control the impact they have on the world. And that, my friend, is one of the greatest strengths you can cultivate. Shall we learn together to be more strategic, even in the simplest things? This is yet another essential piece to building a life of purpose and peace. If even in simple conversations it's important to be cautious about what we reveal, imagine the impact of what you post on social media, a place where everything is recorded and amplified. After all, the way you present yourself in the virtual world can shape how you're perceived in the real world. Let's explore together how to use social media more consciously and strategically. Today, more than ever, what you share online serves as a business card. Your likes, comments, and posts tell a story. The question is that story aligned with who you truly are or who you aspire to become? Think about it. The internet is a public space, even if you're in the comfort of your home. And everything you do there leaves traces. That post you found funny but could be misinterpreted, or that venting session that seemed harmless but reveals more about you than it should. And the impact goes further. Companies that analyze your profile before hiring you, people who look you up before a meeting or a date, opportunities that disappear simply because your online interactions send the wrong message. The biggest problem: often we let ourselves get carried away by the emotion of the moment. We click, share, and comment without thinking about the consequences. But here's a powerful truth. What you post, even unintentionally, reflects who you are, or at the very least, how others perceive you. That's why it's time to adopt a new approach: digital strategy. Before liking or posting something, ask yourself, does this add value to my life? Is it aligned with my goals and principles? How would someone who doesn't know me interpret this? Also, remember that less is more. You don't have to show everything you do, think, or feel. Keeping parts of your life off the radar is a smart choice. It protects your privacy, maintains an air of mystery, and prevents misunderstandings that can be costly. And don't confuse authenticity with oversharing. Being yourself doesn't mean publishing every detail of your life. It means using social media as a tool to share what truly matters in an intentional and positive way. The internet can be an incredible space for learning, connection, and opportunity, as long as you use it consciously. So how about taking a moment, reviewing your profiles, and starting to be more selective about what you put into the digital world? Because in the end, what you share today can open doors tomorrow or close them, and you deserve to be in control of that choice. Let's build an online presence that reflects the best of you together. The power is in your hands, and of course, in your clicks. Now that we've gone through these important points together, I want you to pause for a moment and reflect. How many times have you found yourself in tricky situations without realizing it, simply by acting without thinking? The truth is, all of us at some point have shared too much, whether through our words, actions, or in the digital world. But what matters isn't what's already happened. What truly matters is what you decide to do from this moment on. Every tip we've explored today is an invitation for you to take control, to protect your peace, your achievements, and your dreams. Whether by being more discreet in your daily life, more careful on social media, or learning to manage impulsivity, every step you take toward wisdom makes a huge difference in your life. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these changes will you start applying today? Which lesson made you reflect and rethink the way you act? Leave your thoughts in the comments, because your experience could inspire others too. And of course, if this video helped you in any way, don't forget to give it a like. It might seem like a small gesture, but it makes a huge difference in helping this content reach more people. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, take this moment to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss any upcoming content that will undoubtedly add value to your life. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end. It's an honor to share these ideas with you and to know that together we're creating a space for learning and growth. See you in the next video, and remember, the power to transform your life is in your hands. Shall we continue this journey together? See you soon.